Warning! The root's on fire! You're about to experience the most high-octane, pedal-to-the-metal controversial show of your life. Please buckle up and hold on tightly. This station is not responsible for injuries. This is Wayne Allyn Root, raw and unfiltered, with America's favorite conservative rock star. Direct from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. What time is it? It's time for war! Here's your host, 100% raw truth, 100% American made, the warrior, Wayne Allyn Root.
But my earpiece is flying all over the place, and I have no idea why, but it just isn't staying in like it normally does. All right. Hopefully we'll get it in. I don't know. It just is not right. It's rubbing against my head. I'm Wayne Allyn Root with an earpiece that doesn't work, which is never good. Hopefully it'll stay in for this segment. I have no idea, but we're trying our best to make it work. What a crazy day. Just got back from Washington, D.C. If you watched my America's Top 10 Countdown over the weekend, you saw it. It was direct from Washington, D.C. in a new studio. I've never been in. Never done in any studio outside of this studio before. First time ever. So first time for everything, and it worked out beautifully. It was a beautiful show. One of the best shows. I'm going to use it as an example. One of my better shows. It looked great having that D.C. background. It was nice being in the nation's capital, but also good to be home in Las Vegas, where the taxes are zero and guns are legal and best restaurants in the world and property taxes are among the lowest. It really is a great place to live. When you're away, it proves to you how good it really is in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, look, something terrible happened this morning. The Supreme Court legalized stolen elections, and the minute I woke up and saw it, it was literally the first thing I saw when I woke up. It just happened moments before I woke up. And I wrote a commentary about it, so here it is. It is titled, "The Supreme Court Just Legalized Stolen Elections. No choice now, President Trump. This is a life or death emergency. You must sign a national security emergency for elections." So I have very bad news, but then I have really great news. First, the bad news. The Supreme Court did it again. As I keep warning, there's nothing wrong. There's something wrong with two of our conservative justices, Chief Justice Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett. They're dirty, and they're playing for the other side. They're either total frauds, liberal plants, masquerading. See, Patar, I can't keep it on. This drives me crazy. Of course I need it. I wouldn't know the time without it.
I'll let you know.
You'll let me know. All right, Patar, let me know. All right. I've never done a show without an earpiece in, so this will be a first for everything. So Justice Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett, they're dirty. They're playing for the other side. They're either total frauds, liberal plants masquerading as conservatives intent on destroying America by allowing stolen elections, or they're working directly for the deep state, or they're bribed by the Chinese Communist Party, or they're blackmailed. Either way, Roberts and Barrett aren't on our side. And the way they do it is brilliant. They don't vote against us all the time. That would be too obvious. They do it just enough in crucial decisions to avoid anyone questioning their integrity. There isn't a pattern, right? They vote with us on most Supreme Court decisions, and then they choose one or two of the biggest rulings of our time, like Obamacare as an example, to vote against us. Brilliant. If I was an undercover liberal plant on the Supreme Court, or taking bribes from George Soros, or taking bribes from the Chinese Communist Party, or blackmailed, that's exactly how I would do it. I'd vote conservative 90% or more of the time, but on the important decisions that destroy the GOP and America, I'd side with liberals, or I'd side with the people that are bribing me. That's how I'd earn my bribe. Just a few decisions that matter while looking like a good guy 90+% of the time. Today's Supreme Court decision was one of the worst of all time, and that's saying a lot because I've seen some bad Supreme Court decisions. Today, the Supremes, in all their wisdom, and I'm saying that facetiously, in all their wisdom, legalized rigged and stolen elections. They voted 5-4 that election day no longer matters. They ruled it's okay to let Democrats keep voting for days or weeks or however long it takes until they get whatever desired result they want. The Supremes literally legalized the worst and most obvious scam in U.S. election history. Democrats don't have the support of the American people, real, legitimate American-born voters. They vote Republican. So Democrats lose most of the time with real voters. So the key to overcoming the votes of real Americans is to steal elections with fake votes. How do they do that? It's simple. Wait until election night and see the final vote totals. If Republican candidates are up by, say, 25,000 votes at the end of election night, then spend the next 5 days or 7 days or 10 days or weeks in the case of California manufacturing enough fake mail-in ballots to beat the Republican victory margin. Just find 30,000 extra Democrat votes long after the election ended, and presto, Democrats magically win. And of course, the more time Democrats have to play this crooked game, the better it looks. With days or weeks to get the job done, they can slowly make the GOP lead evaporate by a few thousand fake ballots here and a few thousand fake ballots there. At the end of days of counting, Democrats win very close, and it doesn't look too obvious. To rig and cheat and steal elections, these are the four things Democrats need. Number one, mail-in ballots. Number two, no voter ID. Number three, no proof of citizenship. And number four, endless days to count after Election Day. The Supreme Court, with the help of Justice John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett, just made the whole scam work. They made the scam legitimate. But don't despair just yet. Here's the great news. This decision was so terrible, such a disaster, such a scam, that President Trump will be outraged and forced to do what I've been loudly urging for months now. So in a way, it's good, because they just stuck the knife in Trump's stomach. And you know how Trump is. When you stick a knife in his stomach, he gets a bazooka out and blows your brains out. Trump responds strongly. So Trump will be forced to do what I've loudly urged for months now, declare a presidential national security emergency for elections. There's no longer any choice. President Trump has to act fast or the midterms will be stolen. Stop worrying and freaking and screaming about the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act isn't happening, as I've warned for months. It's too late. We don't have the votes to pass it, and we don't have the votes to suspend the filibuster, where they call it a talking filibuster. The SAVE Act is dead. It's as dead as Joe Biden's brain. And even if by hook or crook or sudden miracle, the GOP Senate had a change of heart and passed the SAVE Act, which they won't, it would be instantly challenged in court by Mark Elias and the Democrat lawyers and tied up for a year or longer, maybe years. So it would never be effective for the upcoming midterms. There's only one answer now, only one choice, the one that I've been preaching for months: a presidential national security emergency for elections. The really great news is it's better than the SAVE Act. It's the SAVE Act on steroids, Trump style. It's got everything the SAVE Act has and a lot more. It has voter ID, and it has proof of citizenship, and severe limits to mail-in ballots, and it ends machine voting and mandates paper ballots. And now Trump will have to add no counting of ballots past Election Day. Here's a concept the Supremes are either too corrupt or too stupid to understand. Forget about the rigging and cheating enabled by counting for days past election night. Set that aside for a moment. It's even simpler than that. If anyone in America can't get their vote or ballot in by election night, they're too stupid to be allowed to vote. But Trump has to act now. There's only 4 months to go before the midterms, and states will need to implement all of these changes. Now, you may be asking why this Trump EO won't be challenged by Democrat lawyers and tied up in court just like the SAVE Act. Well, then you haven't been listening to my show. I've said this 1,000 times. It can't be. I've been shouting from the highest rooftop for months. The Supreme Court already ruled on this. There is nothing Democrat lawyers can do. It is a national security emergency. The Supreme Court ruled in 1983 that a national security emergency cannot be challenged in court. They can only be overturned by a 2/3 vote in both houses of Congress. And Democrats don't have the votes. So do it, President Trump. Do it today. You have no other choice. The GOP Senate will never pass the SAVE Act in time to save the midterms. Actually, they'll never pass the SAVE Act, period, but certainly not in time to save the midterms. And this terrible Supreme Court ruling just forced your hand. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. The Supremes have left you no choice. You must take the ball into your own hands and win the game, President Trump. There just is no choice. Thank you, Justices Roberts and Barrett, for making it so clear to President Trump there's no other choice but Wayne's idea. Now watch Democrats lose their minds. Watch their heads explode when they realize the solution that I have preached and lobbied for many months is foolproof. This is the solution to end rigged elections, and Democrats cannot stop it. And a major assist, by the way, to John Goodman. John Goodman's fantastic. He just never leaves me alone. He hounds me to keep talking about this, And that's President Trump's idea of life, right? His key to success. President Trump says is repetition. That's why he'll say, make America great again, secure the border, build the wall. He says the same things over and over because it doesn't really reach a crescendo in your conscience until you hear it again and again and again and again. And John Goodman keeps bothering me, my election expert. Wayne, tell everyone, national security emergency. And so it's our baby, it's John's baby, it's my baby, and I hope it's soon President Trump's baby. And Muhammad Ali said it ain't bragging if you can back it up. Let me tell you several things I've done. I think it's 5 I counted that I've done to change the world, literally. 5 things that I can take credit for that I'm very proud of, that I never made one penny off of. It wasn't about money. It was about saving America. And I did it, and the average person doesn't know. First of all, when President Trump was first running for president, I'm the guy who wrote his very first tax plan. He literally, and I have the proof, he literally sent me an email and said, Wayne, you're right. I need a tax plan. Can you write it? And I said, Donald, he wasn't President Trump. I said, Donald, how can I write it? I'm in an airport right now. I'm in the middle of a trip. And you want me to write it? Give me a week. He said, no, I need it today. So I wrote it at the airport and sent it to him. I emailed it to him after I wrote it at the airport. And that's the first tax plan he put out. And I don't think he ever would have been president of the United States without that very first shot of credibility for that very first tax plan. So that's Wayne Root number 1. Wayne Root number 2. I went to the Wyoming GOP. I was their dinner speaker at the Wyoming State GOP annual dinner. And I tested out my concept. I said the Senate and the House will never give President Trump, this was in 2019, will never give President Trump the money to build the wall. They refuse to do it. They've passed bill after bill. None of them include a dime for the wall. They won't let him build the wall. He needs to go over their heads and declare a national security emergency on the border, and therefore he'll have the right to grab the money from the budget of the Pentagon and use it to build the wall. And I sent that to President Trump. And as a matter of fact, I sent it to Lee Lipton, one of my best friends in the world. That's why I was in Washington, D.C., the trip I was just on. Lee Lipton became the United States ambassador to the Philippines. President Trump named him the U.S. ambassador to the Philippines. And so Lee Lipton took it and handed it to President Trump, put it in his hands and said, promise me you'll read this. This is Wayne Root's idea. And President Trump put it in his jacket pocket and said, I promise you the minute I get home, I'm going to read this. And the next day, he declared a national security emergency on the border and used the money for the Pentagon to build the wall. So there's 2 strikes for Wayne Allyn Root that no one knows about. Number 3 was no tax on Social Security, and no tax on overtime was number 4. 2 things that won him the election. Without those 2, he wouldn't have won the election. Those were my ideas. And every person in America who makes extra money because of no tax on Social Security and no tax on overtime keeps more of their own money by the billions collectively, owes Wayne Root a debt of gratitude. Thank you. And I think he'll do this one. So I went for the national security emergency on the border to a national security emergency for elections. And this could save the midterms and therefore save America. So that's 5 times I've come up with creative ideas that literally I don't think America would be here today, certainly not the way it is today, without those ideas. Trump wouldn't have won the first time without my tax plan. We wouldn't have built the wall without my idea. And Trump wouldn't have won the second time with no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. And now we aren't going to win the midterms unless you declare a presidential national security emergency on elections, just like my national security emergency on borders. And actually, there's one more. It had nothing to do with Trump. One more thing I'll take credit for. That was one of the best ideas of my life. I'm the first guy ever. For 20 years, I've been writing columns. And for 20 years, I've been saying Democrats are the biggest hypocrites in the world. They don't want a single illegal near their kids' private school. They don't want a single illegal near their restaurant, their favorite restaurants, their favorite Pilates, Pilates store, Pilates, what would you call it? Pilates gym? I don't know, whatever it is. Pilates retail location, their favorite yoga location. They don't want it near their homes. They don't want it near their office. They don't want it near the Supreme Court. It's fine and dandy to say, I love illegals, let them all in, don't send anyone home. But what about if they had to live with them? So I'm the first guy who made that point and said, send them. Every Republican governor needs to send illegals, bus, train, plane, I don't care how you do it, send them to rich liberal towns and literally bomb them with illegal aliens. Send them to, Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard and Scarsdale, New York, and Bronxville, New York, et cetera, Palo Alto, Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, Malibu, Santa Barbara. Fill the richest towns in America filled with liberals, with illegal aliens, and watch how they react. And I think that's one of the reasons we've been winning the war on illegal immigration and open borders, because the average person sees what hypocrites liberals really are, because they don't want to live around them. So really, there's 6 great ideas I've come up with in my life that have changed this country, and I'm very proud of that. All right, let's mention Freedom Fest, because I'm headed on vacation this week, by the way. I'm only here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I leave on Thursday for a long-planned 1-week vacation, my first actual vacation since Thanksgiving holiday. Everyone's got to get away once in a while. Wayne Root needs to get away, too, and just relax. And I'm getting away starting on Thursday, but the minute I get back the following Wednesday, I'm here Wednesday, I'm here Thursday, and then Friday, I've got Freedom Fest. Freedom Fest is this event every year in Las Vegas, and that Friday is June 10th. And Freedom Fest is all built around either a big debate or a mock trial, and every year I'm the star of the big debate or the mock trial, and this year is no different. They're putting ICE on trial, and I will be the ICE defense attorney. And the star witnesses for the defense of ICE and my defense will be Superman actor Dean Cain and veteran Border Patrol agent J.J. Carroll. The 12 jurors will be selected from the audience. It will take place on Friday, July 10th at 5 p.m. And I've arranged for a special 1-day pass for all of my fans to attend Freedom Fest that day to watch the mock trial. My fans only get $50 off the registration fee for a 1-day pass. Get your tickets now. Go to freedomfest.com. Use the promo code WAR50 for $50 off. WAR50 when you get to freedomfest.com. This a 1-day pass this Friday, July 10th. Special 1-day pass to watch me defend ICE in the mock trial. Go to freedomfest.com, promo code WAR50, and get $50 off. I can't wait to meet all of you there. If you come, believe me, I will stay as long as I have to say hi to every one of you and meet my fans. So that's the story. Freedomfest.com, WAR50 gets you $50 off a 1-day pass for Friday, June 10th to watch me defend ICE. It'll be televised nationally on C-SPAN. I don't know if they're televising it live, therefore you got to be there to watch it. I think they're going to record it and they're going to run it at various times on C-SPAN. So your chance to watch me live defend ICE is going to be a fun trial, and at the end of the trial they decide, who goes to jail. Does ICE go to jail? And I just read the actual script that Mark Skousen, the founder of Freedom Fest, was designing for the jurors, and it's just, do we send Wayne Root and his ICE team to prison? So they're going to be voting on whether I go to prison or not at the end of this trial. Be there and be there to boo and heckle them or to cheer them when they vote for Wayne Root, and ICE walks away victorious with their arms in the air. All right, freedomfest.com, 1-day pass and it is War 50 to get $50 off the one-day pass. I'm Wayne Allyn Root. This is Warzone Live, the official easy for me to say, the official podcast of thegatewaypundit.com, which is the fifth biggest conservative news site in America, and we're proud to be with the Gateway Pundit. You can find this at thegatewaypundit.com, rumble.com, redtalk.com, or is it Talk Red, Patar? I never know which one it is, Talk Red or Red Talk, one or the other. And my website, rootforamerica.com, all of it's at the top of rootforamerica.com, all the ways to find my podcast, my TV shows, and my radio show, all of it. One more thing before we go to break, the phone number, which isn't up there, Patar, but I remember it anyway, I'm okay. So here's the deal. Today's a very special day. You know my show, America Talks. Even though it's at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, on Real America's Voice TV, weekday show, Monday through Friday. Even though it's there, we record the show at 6 p.m. So I've spoken for 3 weeks now with Real America's Voice TV, and finally they got it together for today. Today the show debuts live at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Live at 6 p.m. on the YouTube channel or the Real America's Voice YouTube channel. I don't know how else you describe it. You go to YouTube, you look up Real America's Voice, and on their channel is Wayne Root live at 6 o'clock. So now you can watch my show live and call in live at 1-800-347-ROOT. 1-800-347-ROOT. Today, 6 p.m. Eastern, live. Watch me on YouTube on the Real America's Voice YouTube channel. Now you can watch the show live, or you could choose to watch the replay at 12 midnight East Coast time, 9 p.m. Pacific on Real America's Voice TV. 1-800-347-ROOT. Call me. Well, line up and call me. 1-800-347-ROOT, 6 p.m. Eastern, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday before I take my little vacation, and then every day when I get back. All right, we'll be right back. This is Warzone Live.
What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment, but life's a lot longer than a moment.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
So log on to energizedhealth.com. That's energizedhealth.com.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Hi, this is Wayne Allyn Root. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com. Hey, Wayne Allyn Root, America Speaks. You call in and we talk about it. Your opinions, your comments, your questions. How do you call in? 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-7668. The show airs at midnight, East Coast time, 9 p.m. Pacific, but we tape it at 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So you call in at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I talk to you, and it airs that night at midnight. The phone number again, 800-347-ROOT. That number is 24/7. You can leave voicemails. We play your voicemails on the air as well.
Hey, Wayne, what do you think about Obama?
He was a communist, socialist, Marxist radical.
I agree.
Or you can email me, wayneroot@gmail.com. I'll read your email live on the air with your comments or questions, America Speaks. All right, Wayne Alaroot, we got the IFB problems straightened out, I think, I hope. It was just twisted the wrong way, and now it feels pretty good. Totally different. It felt so weird when I put it on before. I've never felt twisting against my head like that, so I knew something was wrong. But Pitar saved the day and put the time up on the screen. I did not need any instructions in my ear from Daniel. It's a tight-knit team here. It's Wayne Root, it's Pitar, my director, and it's Daniel, my producer on radio, and also now in charge of all of the video broadcast as well. It's Andrew Paul, my executive producer and a general manager and president of my company, who also books the guests. It's a little team of four, basically, but takes care of this show. And then my other show, America's Top 10 Countdown, and America Speaks on Real America's Voice TV. It's me, Pitar, Andrew, again, handling a lot of the responsibilities. And then it's like a crew of six in Denver, Colorado. When we did the show in Washington, D.C., it was a crew of two in Washington and the usual crew of six in Denver when I did the show on Saturday. So, we put shows on for such a fraction of the cost compared to, say, like Fox News, right? Sean Hannity would fall apart if he ever had the pressure that I've got. Sean Hannity would be like, humna, what? Huh? What? I can't do this by myself. He'd have a nervous breakdown. Sean Hannity is like 50 people writing the script for his show. He's never come up with an idea in a show in his life by himself. I do everything by myself. Every word of the show is written by me. Every article picked out by me. Can you just imagine Sean Hannity? Pitar, don't we have a live read at the end of this segment? Yes. A guest segment? Well, I have no guest. I don't have a single sheet about it. I know, but I don't have any notes. I have nothing. Nobody told me anything. Never heard a word. We have Brigitte standing by, and I have no notes. So I don't have the slightest idea what to talk about. So hopefully we'll just wing it. Brigitte is on with us right now. Brigitte Gabriel. Welcome to the show, Brigitte. I have no notes, so we're going to wing it, okay? How are you?
Hello, my friend. You and I can wing it very well. This is not the first time we wing it.
We can, but I'm going to find Andrew's notes on here somewhere. It'll be on my phone if I didn't get it on my desktop because I came too late to the show. But I've got it here, so we'll be okay. All right, here we go. See, I already can unwing it. I can just do it on the phone instead of the usual way. Just want to see what we want to talk about. So, Secretary Marco Rubio brokered an historic framework peace agreement between Israel and Lebanon. But is it a real deal? Is it a really good deal? Is it good for Israel? Is it good for America? Will it work? Are they going to stay with the deal? Tell us all about it because, the average person is very skeptical.
Well, this was a brilliant move on the side of Israel, by the way, because, Iran wanted to drag Israel and Lebanon into this MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, without anybody talking to Israel or to Lebanon. And they are the main actor, actually, who are fighting with each other. And Iran did not want to lose Lebanon. So this is why they included Lebanon in the MOU. But Israel did not want to get into a confrontation with the United States. So what Israel did was brilliant. Israel and Lebanon agreed to talk together on the side and sign an agreement together where the president of the United States cannot get upset with both of them because they both have come to an agreement where they're going to work together, which basically threw Iran on the side and rendered Iran paralyzed when it comes to the deal between Israel and Lebanon. And here is the brilliancy of this deal. So Israel is in Lebanon. Lebanon knows that only Israel can get rid of Hezbollah and fight Hezbollah. Lebanon cannot do it on their own. America's not going to get involved fighting against Hezbollah in Lebanon. So Israel is the only one that can actually defeat Hezbollah. So what Israel has done, which is another brilliant strategic move by Israel, is they advanced in the last few days, especially past the Litani River, to maintain a wide security zone in the south. So the way the Lebanese and the Israeli now wrote the agreement is Israel has to withdraw a little bit out of Lebanon, which Israel agreed to, which basically Israel got back to exactly where Israel wanted to be at the Litani River, and Lebanon got to save face as they sell the idea to their population. So right now, Israel can remain in South Lebanon up all the way up to the Litani River to make sure Hezbollah cannot attack Israel that close from Lebanese territory. The Lebanese government has an ally with the Israelis right now fighting Hezbollah. The Lebanese army can get back into the south to certain area to protect the territories of Lebanon. The Lebanese are happy. The Israelis are happy. Iran cannot do anything about it. And Israel and America can walk together peacefully and happily dealing with Iran.
So explain something to me, because that was a great explanation, Brigitte. Is the Lebanese government and the Lebanese army, they're not on the side of Hezbollah? They're actually more on the side of Israel, or they're just on the side of Lebanon and they don't like Israel or Hezbollah? Where do they stand?
The Lebanese government has a Maronite Christian president, according to the Constitution of Lebanon. The Christians in Lebanon have always liked Israel and been allied with Israel because they know that Hezbollah wants their necks. So we went through a period of Lebanon where there were, some Christians allying with Hezbollah, thinking Hezbollah is going to protect us. All that is gone right now. Right now in Lebanon, the Christians are literally living in fear, fearing what Hezbollah can do to them. So there's no more facade. There's no more, we can all get along and live along happily ever after. That's not going to happen right now. The problem with the Lebanese army is half of the Lebanese army is very sympathetic to Hezbollah, are loyalists to Hezbollah. But Lebanon has no other option. It's either the Lebanese army or Hezbollah takes over. So they are willing to gamble and support the Lebanese army to make sure the Lebanese army enters the south and protects the south, which saves the face of Lebanon as a country. And Israel feels that supposedly they have an ally to work with the Lebanese army. The Israelis need to protect themselves. They need to be on the border with Lebanon. They need to be inside a security zone. And that was the best option for the Lebanese and the Israelis to work together.
It's just, there's no one in the world that can ever trust a radical Muslim. I mean, you just can't trust them. Hamas, Hezbollah, I don't care who they are, anyone in Gaza, the Palestinians, they're just all bad. They're just bad. I don't know what else to say. They're evil. They're bad. They're untrustworthy. And I don't know how I go back and forth every day, Brigitte. One day I think Trump's a genius and the Iran deal is going to win the midterms. He got out of Iran. The war is over. Everything's going to be okay. And the next day I go, wait a minute. They're going to break it and break it and break it and break it. He should have just killed them all. This isn't going to work. He needs to kill the leadership of the IRG. I don't know about kill. I'm not saying kill the Iranian people. I'm saying kill all the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Just wipe them out, because you can't do business with these people. They're going to keep breaking it. So one day I'm for the peace deal. Next day I'm against it. It's very tough to figure out what to do here.
There is no peace with the current regime in Iran. Period. End of story. They will lie. They will deceive. They will try to buy time. They are taking J.D. Vance back to school to give him a master class on negotiating and the art of negotiating. He and Steve and Jared Kushner. The Iranians are masters at manipulation. They hate our guts. That's exactly why they were talking back just this weekend about why and the importance of developing nuclear weapons and atomic weapons. These people want our destruction. And it has nothing to do with Israel, by the way. I know there is a lot of Americans on the right, on the conservative side saying, Israel dragged us into war. This has nothing to do with Israel. Remember, in 1979, when Iran took the American hostages, 145 days they were kept in Iran. Israel had nothing to do with it back then. Iran back then in 1979 called us the Great Satan. And since then, they are after us. And even if they wipe Israel off the map and Israel is gone,
well, then we're next.
We're next. Exactly. They hate us. The only way we're going to be able to win and save ourselves from a nuclear attack is to basically wipe this regime off the planet. We can work with the Iranian people. We cannot work with anybody representing this regime, because as long as the IRGC is in charge, we are doomed. It's either us or them, and we need to eat them for lunch before they eat us for dinner. Very simple.
And Brigitte, it's not just, you're talking about the Iranian regime. It's all radical Muslims, and unfortunately, that's most Muslims. Sadly, I've seen the polling. It reminds me of Nazi Germany. Right? I think it's something like 3% of Nazis ever actually killed Jews, but the other 97% of Germans went along with it. Right? So very few of them were actually Nazis at a concentration camp killing Jews, but they knew what was happening and they went along with it. They smiled, they laughed, they put thumbs up. You killed some Jews today, good. I feel the same way about Muslims in the United States. They're not actively killing us. They're not terrorists. They're not murdering us in the streets, but they support terrorism. They give money to terrorism. They're happy when something bad happens to the United States or Israel, and they hate Jews. So we have a big problem, not just with radical Islam, with all Muslims. Based on the polling I've seen, they all support terrorism, and they all hate Jews. So it's a real problem.
Well, as I always say, the numbers don't lie. The numbers are the numbers are the numbers. The data speaks for itself. This is not Brigitte Gabriel's opinion. This is not Wayne Allen Root's opinion. This is the data. This is based on surveys where Muslims were called and asked different questions. Well, the one thing we know is 99.9% of them hate Jews, period. These are the Muslims living in the United States who are supposedly civilized and living amongst us, etc.
And moderate, right? They're supposedly moderate.
Right, and these are the moderates, but they all hate Jews. Now, all of them are not going to go out and kill Jews, but they sure cover for, support, donate, protect those who want to carry on the terrorist attacks. Terrorists don't operate in a silo by themselves. When you look at the 9/11 hijackers that committed the terrorist attack on 9/11, there were people that supported them. They had 62 driver's licenses between all of them. Somebody gave them the money to get these driver's licenses. Somebody covered up for them. Somebody funded them. Somebody paid for their airline tickets to come.
Right.
People in the mosques knew about what they were up to, but they kept their mouths shut. When you look at different attacks in the United States, whether it was, you pick a name, anybody, whether it was Sam in Texas back in 2007, 2008, who wanted to blow up the Fountain Building in Dallas, whether it was the Times Square bomber, it doesn't matter who it was. There were people that knew about them, that saw the radicalization signs and didn't say anything.
Nothing.
They said nothing. They covered up for them. Remember the guy who killed his 2 daughters in Texas in honor killing? For a year, we were looking for him and nobody would find him because he's being hidden by a family in the United States. So they cover up for each other. And this is a time where we need to throw political correctness in the garbage and start calling a spade before we become like Europe. In Europe right now, and I was giving an interview to Europe this morning, by the way, there is no freedom of speech. They cannot have this conversation you and I are having right now.
Right.
So
This is our
time to save the country.
Brigitte, they could have the conversation. It's just you and I would go to jail for the conversation.
That's right.
We could have this conversation, but they'd raid our office and the two of us would be dragged off to jail. And they'd stick, and by the way, they'd stick you in a jail with transgender men making believe they're women. So the things that liberals believe in are so sick. They're so sick. Do you realize in California, I'm getting off the topic a little bit, but it's just that liberalism everywhere in the world is insane. In California, they're passing a bill where children, minors, you could be 4 years old and you could decide to divorce your parents. Because you don't like them. It's unbelievable. And they've also got a law that I think $600 million in funding from the government of California that goes for certain government contracts can only go to gay companies, gay-owned companies and transgender-owned companies. This is all madness, all insanity. And the weirdest part of it is that you have these jihadists in bed with liberals and liberals in bed with jihadists, but they hate. Right? Jihadists hate gays. They can't stand them. They certainly can't stand transgenders. They'd kill them in the middle of the street. They throw gays off buildings. How could they be friends with each other? How could they march together? Insanity.
Because the Islamists are using the lefty communists in our country. I love the way President Trump termed it. They're communists. Forget talking about socialism and Marxism.
Right.
We're talking about communists, okay? So the jihadists and the communist left in America are now working together and coming together because they agree on a lot of issues. So the Islamists are using the leftists as the useful idiots to advance their agenda. Now, their agenda is the same. The Islamists want welfare. They want free food, free housing, free this, free free that, be able to bring their 67 people extended immediate family to the United States so they all can siphon off the system so you and I can work and pay our taxes while they're sitting on their behind plotting our takeover.
And they want
10,
open
20,
borders.
50 years.
And they both want open borders.
Exactly. So the leftists are the same way the communists. I mean, look at Mamdani. Free rent, free childcare, free cell phones, free whatever you want, free food stamps, whatever you want.
And you and I have to pay for it. But you and I have to pay for it, Brigitte. Someone's got to pay. The people who work hard and earn their money have to pay for it. Well, everybody else, the freeloaders.
But the Islamists and the leftists hate you and me, and they don't care. They actually want us to pay money so we can support them. This is their way of sticking it to us. And, this is what the left doesn't get. But this is exactly why we on the right need to be organized, need to be engaged, need to be activated. I don't want to hear anything about apathy. I don't want to hear anything about people not wanting to go out and vote because, I don't like so-and-so, or I don't agree with so-and-so, or as a Christian, I will not vote for a gay conservative. Let me tell you something. This upcoming election, you need to don't even look at the name. You need to see R,
exactly.
and vote Republican all the way down the ticket. You may not agree with 95% of whatever this person stands for. You may not agree with 5% of what this person stands for, but you agree with them 95%, and you need to vote for them. That's what the Democrats do. That's what we need to do. And also, I encourage people to go to actforamerica.org right now. Join us. Start a chapter in your community. We are mobilizing the whole nation. We have started 328 chapters in the last 5 months in 48 states. We need you engaged, not just entertained, watching podcasts, listening to talk radio. You need to be engaged and plugged in with a national activism organization where you can be a voice affecting your community and our nation.
I would add to what you said, Brigitte, one thing. Forget about the fact you might agree 95%, disagree 5% with the average Republican candidate. What if you only agree 70% with the average Republican candidate? What if you only agree 60% with the average Republican candidate? I guarantee you disagree 100% with the leftists running against them. So it's not a matter of who you agree with, it's who you disagree with. Everything they believe in is pure poison for America, for Israel, for the world, for democracy, for capitalism, for anything you can name that made America great. They hate all of it. They are the worst. All right, Brigitte, we are on the run. We got to run. And let's make the point you said, not enough of us are voting. In New York City, they elected all communists. How did that happen? Almost nobody voted. The only ones who voted were a bunch of communists came out. Nobody else voted. Our side isn't voting. Moderates aren't voting. Independents aren't voting. Just communists voting. Brigitte, great to have you on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Always love having Brigitte on. Let me mention Tangible Investments because they are the sponsor of this segment. How important is it to own gold? China's central bank just increased their gold reserves for the 19th consecutive month. On the sheet, it says 18, but I know for a fact it just became the 19th consecutive month. China's prepared for what's coming. Are you? And what are they preparing for? Terrible times. Because they're planning to cause the terrible times. But buying gold is not enough. You need to buy at the right price. And this is where buyers get misled. Other gold companies say, we only charge 1% over cost. But whose cost are they talking about? The real question that you need to ask is, what are you charging me over spot price? And then compare that answer to Tangible Investments. Now, I've known the guys at Tangible for decades. Tangible's been in business for more than 40 years, have handled more than $2 billion in transactions, and their team brings over 200 combined years of experience. Right now, Tangible Investments is offering gold bullion at just 1% over spot. That's unheard of, and they offer silver as low as 3% over spot. Unheard of. If you want gold, silver, precious metals, or rare coins from a real firm with real credibility and honest pricing, call Tangible Investments right now. Don't forget to ask them, what are you charging me over spot? Right? What are you charging me over spot? I'm training you what to say. Call Tangible right now, toll free, 888-330-4351, 888-330-4351, or go to the website they created just for my fans, rootforgold.com, rootforgold.com, and tell them Ward sent you, 888-330-4351. I'm Wayne Allyn Root. This is Warzone Live. My website, rootforamerica.com. Email me anytime, WayneRoot@gmail.com. And coming up in just 1 hour and 15 minutes at 6 o'clock Eastern is my show, America Speaks, on Real America's Voice TV network, now live at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, go to Real America's Voice, and on their channel is my show live at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific every day. It's a call-in show. You can call me at 800-347-ROOT, 800-347-ROOT. Talk to me about whatever is on your mind, 800-347-7668. We'll be right back. All right, I'm joined by Kip Herriage, my old buddy, and an economic expert, CEO of Vertical Research Advisory. His website, VRAinsider.com. As I've explained on this show so many times, VRA has beaten the market in 19 of the last 22 years since Kip founded the VRA in 2003. Over the last 3 years, VRA had an average gain of 37%. Kip, congratulations on your success. I've seen it firsthand for over 22 years. I've read your newsletter for the last 22 plus years. You're my personal financial expert. How do you guys keep beating the markets almost every year when 90% of Wall Street money managers fail to do so?
Well, thanks, Wayne. You know, I worked in that environment for 15 years, worked at Wall Street 15 years, helped take 7 companies public, raised and managed several $100 million. And I know how the groupthink of Wall Street works, and that's not how people make money. 90% of money managers, as you say, don't beat the markets every year. We do. And the reason really is I had great mentors that helped me to create what we call our VRA investing system. It's our proprietary market timing and sector selection system that tells us when to be in the market, when to be out, when to be aggressive, and when to take some profits, take some money to cash. And that helps us with our sector selection. Again, market timing, those are real keys. And we also love doing individual stock research. So that's where you put our clients and subscribers into, again, ETFs, individual stocks. And we also love Bitcoin and gold, as you know, and silver. In 2003, I recommended gold at $350 an ounce, silver at $5. We recommended Bitcoin at $2,000 in 2017. And combined with those three, we're up over 4,000% in gains for our 40 times your money for our subscribers. So we do things a little differently. 5th and 6th generation native Texans, and we love what we do here in Texas.
Well, I'm a witness to all of it. I've been there for all of it. There's a lot of fear out there today, Kip. What should investors know about the stock market right now?
Yeah, you got to be in this market. That's what investors should know. Look, volatility is the price of admission. It just is. It comes with the territory. But these dips give us great buying opportunities. Look, we've been the most bullish market strategists in America for the last 4 years. We call this the innovation revolution meets the Trump economic miracle meets an absolute ocean of liquidity. Those are our big three. Again, Trump's economic miracle this year is really going to start paying its dues. We expect GDP growth to hit 5% this year. We expect the markets we think this bull market runs into the 2030s.
All right, everyone gets 2 weeks free automatically by going to VRAinsider.com. 2 weeks free. Judge for yourself. VRAinsider.com. Kip Herriage, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
All right, Wayne Allyn Roots. This is Warzone Live. See, again, Trump's theory, right? I wrote the book Trump Rules. I've studied Trump for 40 plus years. You don't have to get the book, Patar. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. He was about to grab the book because he's Johnny on the spot. He's very good. Johnny on the spot. It's not sitting right there, so don't even worry about it. He's Johnny on the spot. Patar hears me talking about a book and he goes to grab it, but they don't need to see the book. Trump Rules was my book, and it's now being released in Indonesia as the Trump Rules of Success in their language. And next up is UAE. It'll be released in the UAE. So very exciting. And there's no one in the world who understands Trump better than me. And Trump's one of his rules of success, which I've been following for all these years. Repetition, repetition, repetition. This has to be like the 100th time I've mentioned this national security emergency for elections. And in the break, I get a text from Steve Bannon. War, it's Bannon. Is this emergency EU for real? See, I've said it 1,000 times. I finally got his attention. Bannon wants to know, is it for real? Yeah, it's for real. He can do it. I'm telling you, the Supreme Court ruling in 1983, and that's what I answered him. I said, look, I can only go by what I see. The historical fact is they ruled on this during Reagan, that a national security emergency cannot be taken to court. It can only be overturned by a 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress. They cannot stop it. It is real. It's real, Steve. It's real, everyone out there. Telling Steve Bannon, I'm telling you, it's real. John Goodman. Thank you, John. It's real. John Goodman's my election expert, and he comes up with some great stuff. And, that's the thing. He's a researcher who gets great research from me, and I'm a megaphone. I'm a big mouth. I'm the biggest mouth guy in the world. Let me give you an example of my mouth. This is what a big mouth I have. Pitar doesn't even know this. I'm going to tell you a great story, Pitar. So I come back. This is how important it is to have a big mouth, and there's also another lesson here is that anybody can make anything happen. You just got to shout about it, right? To the right people. So I come back from Washington, D.C. Yesterday morning, we landed at like 10:30 in the morning. And as soon as I get off the plane in Vegas airport, the announcement comes over the loudspeaker. Let's say I'm on flight 1530. I don't remember what the number was. I think it was 1530, actually. But I thought they'd say flight 1530 from Reagan National. Your luggage is on luggage, I don't know if they call it rack or whatever it is, luggage rack number 15. And it was. 15 was the number it was at. So they announced your luggage is at luggage rack number 15 from Washington National. But I didn't fly from Washington National. I flew from Reagan National. The name was changed a long time ago. It is Ronald Reagan Airport. Ronald Reagan National, not Washington National. Now I get to the luggage rack, and what does it say on the screen? Flight 1530, Washington National. And I sat there going, it's Reagan. They won't say Reagan's name at the Vegas airport. Who's doing this? It's either the county commission, which is, I think it's like 8 of 9 commissioners are Democrats. And the one conservative is my friend April Becker, great gal. Or it's just the director of the airport who's a big liberal and hates Reagan. Or some state senator or some congressman or senator who's called the director of the airport and said, do not say Reagan, say Washington National. Thousands of tourists are getting off airplanes and they're saying Washington National, Washington National. So the first thing I did is while I was waiting for my luggage, the luggage rack, luggage belt, whatever the hell you want to call it, and the belt's going around, nothing's on it yet, so I start texting my lieutenant governor, Stavros Anthony. Told him what happened and said, you've got to go change this right away. Get on top of them. And Stavros is great about things like that, and he said, I'm on it. He said that, I'm on it. But it might have taken him 3 days to get on it, right? Meantime, first thing I get home, and I've already got, I put out a Facebook post, and I say what just happened. And I immediately get a response from April Becker, who's on the county commission, the only Republican, and she says, it's done. I said, what do you mean? She said, I called the director of the airport, and I told him the name of the airport is Reagan, and change it right away. And he said, it will be done right away. All flights will now be saying it's coming from Reagan, not from Washington National. It's Reagan. And the reason I knew it's Reagan is not Wayne Root's bias as a Republican conservative. I Googled it. Right while I was standing there, I Googled, what is the name of the Washington, D.C. airport? And what does it come back? Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, Washington National. It's Ronald Reagan. And then I Googled, what are the names of all the airports in the Washington area? And it came back, Reagan Dulles BMI, which is Baltimore, must be Metro International or something, BMI. So Baltimore, Reagan, and Dulles. So in short, in long, it's Ronald Reagan National, Washington National Airport. In short, it's Reagan. That's all it is, Reagan. So now it's going to be changed to Reagan. And she told me it's done. And she said, she said to the director of the airport, do I have permission to tell people it's done? He said, yes. And she said, Wayne, tell him it's done. And tell him, at the very worst, if he's slow about it, this will put public pressure on him to get it done now. So I changed the name of an airport.
Change yours.
And right, Pitar says change ours. We don't want Harry Reid anymore. It should be Las Vegas International Airport. That's all it should be. First of all, no airport should be named after anyone. I love Reagan, but it shouldn't be Reagan. It should be Washington National. We should be Las Vegas International. That's what our airport should be named. It should, when you're flying into Vegas, Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to land at Harry Reid. Harry Reid? What do you mean I'm landing at Harry Reid? Am I landing at his house? Harry Reid. Who cares about Harry Reid, the most corrupt senator in the history of America? I got to name an airport after the most corrupt senator? I think I've lost some weight because my pants are falling off. The most corrupt senator in the history of the United States? And we're naming an airport after him? And who agreed to that? Nobody. Was there a vote of the people? Nope, not one vote. They snuck that in without anybody knowing. Nobody knew about it. And the county commission, which is all Democrat, voted on it without mentioning they were going to do it. And the next thing you know, they've changed the name of the airport to Harry Reid from McCarran. Shouldn't have been McCarran. I was campaigning for years. I kept saying, why should it be McCarran? It should be Las Vegas International Airport. But no, they changed it to Harry Reid, not changed it back to Las Vegas. Why was it ever McCarran? But at this point, I'd love it to be McCarran. You know, much better than Harry Reid. But the airport in Washington, D.C. is called Reagan. Simple as that. And Wayne Root made it happen. Very proud of that. So anybody can make something happen if you know the right people. And actually, no phone call of mine made it happen. I just put it out on Facebook and Twitter and Truth Social and Getter. And April Becker, County Commissioner, happened to see my post, and she acted on it. So thank you, April Becker. Great job. All right. Something else I've been saying for years, Obamacare is one big giant ripoff, and I've said for years, and this isn't racism, it's just fact. Most middle-class Americans are white. And this was a brazen attempt to rob and scam and rape middle-class Americans, take their money away from them, and then give it free to mostly black and Latino and minority illegal aliens who are on all kinds of government programs who can't afford health care. Give it to them free and literally rape the rest of us. That's what Obama did. Because most Republicans, most middle-class people, white or black, vote Republican. And most poor people vote Democrat. Most illegal aliens vote Democrat. So they took from one, they robbed from Peter to pay Paul. Stop saying it was a good achievement. It wasn't a good achievement. First of all, government fails at everything it does. Obamacare is a failure. Government health care is a failure. But all he did was steal from one group to give to another, including illegal aliens. Stole from real Americans and gave it to illegal aliens free. But I had it slightly wrong because that's not the only scam. I thought that was the scam. Steal from the middle class and steal from white America. Give it to poor people who vote Democrat. Give it to black and minorities who vote Democrat. But that wasn't the only scam. The scam is that once Obamacare is in play, you've got literally hundreds of billions of dollars floating around. How much can we steal and siphon off for the Democrat Party? So Obamacare recipients include more than 1 million without Social Security numbers. Dr. Oz and RFK Jr. reveal it is plagued by fraud. Where's all that money going? Trump administration cracks down an estimated $10 billion in Obamacare fraud and boots millions from the rolls. Where was the money going for these phantom people who don't have Social Security numbers or who don't exist or aren't alive? I would guarantee you it's going to the Democrat Party and Democrat candidates and Democrat politicians. Obamacare was another scam, just like the NGOs and just like USAID. They've been stealing your money and my money for years. When you pay taxes, it doesn't go to Social Security. It goes to the Democrat Party. They're scam artists. They've been stealing our money. And the entire Obamacare was set up not just to steal all the middle-class people's money and give it to Democrat voters and welfare queens and illegal aliens, and to steal white people's money and give it to mostly black people and minorities and welfare queens. But it was also designed to steal all the money for Democrats, because the more money you give government, the more they steal. The more there is to steal. And for those who say Trump isn't doing enough to arrest people, what do you call this stuff? Trump cracks down, uncovers $6.5 billion in fraud, and your taxes were wasted on diamonds, Ferraris, and a boat named Butt Naked. More than 450 fraudsters, including 90 doctors and medical professionals, were busted for bilking at least $6.5 billion in fake Medicare and Medicaid claims, with one greedy nurse splashing her ill-gotten gains on an $865,000 Bulgari necklace, a $594,000 Ferrari, and a $4.6 million Philippines beach resort. The crackdown spanned 45 states and territories. I think it's great. I saw one guy all by himself stole like $1 billion. It wasn't all profit, but he stole altogether $1 billion, and I think he got 85 million out of it. And he ran away to Somalia. Of course, all the scam artists live in Somalia. Every Somalian's a scammer. Or maybe not every Somalian's a scammer, but every scammer is a Somalian. Certainly in Minnesota, that's true. And so he ran away to Somalia. We arrested him in Somalia. We're bringing him back to America. Trump's arresting lots and lots of people. So stop telling me that Trump, nothing has changed. Lots of things have changed. But when you look at the Supreme Court ruling today, these judges stand in the way of real progress. It's not Trump's fault. Everywhere you turn, there's an Obama judge, a Clinton judge, a Biden judge, and even our own conservative Supreme Court judges screwing us. And here, last thing, I know we're going out in a few minutes. Give me like 3 minutes here. Wayne Root has a crystal ball. I predicted this over the weekend. The last day of the Supreme Court, to my knowledge, is the last day of June. That's Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Wednesday is the 1st of July. I believe, if I'm not incorrect here, every single year, the Supreme Court's last ruling is the most important one, and it's always on the last day of June. And then they're gone until fall, until September. So I believe they're going to rule on birthright citizenship tomorrow. You thought today's ruling was bad. And today's ruling was big, where they ruled you could just, count votes forever. Me and Pitar will just count Republican votes until we win for like a month after the election. That's what they said is okay. So we should start doing it too. Rip them off. But as dumb as that ruling is, as corrupt as that ruling is, as traitorous as Amy Coney Barrett and Justice John Roberts are, wait, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wayne Root predicts they're going to rule on birthright citizenship. Everybody's been lulled to sleep. Everybody forgot about this. They're ruling on it, and tomorrow's the last day. To my knowledge, tomorrow's the last day they can issue a ruling. And they're ruling against us on birthright citizenship because on all the little things they rule with us. So on Friday, there were 3 great rulings on immigration by the Supreme Court. But they were minor. Okay, the big one, the whole enchilada, excuse the pun, being that everyone who comes across the border is Mexican. The whole enchilada is literally birthright citizenship. Are you allowed to come to America legally, break into our country, and then drop a baby and spend the rest of your life here getting welfare because you had a baby on American soil and that baby's automatically American and you stay here forever? That's the ruling that matters. And Roberts and or Coney Barrett or both will rule against us, and we will lose that ruling tomorrow. That's my prediction, and that will destroy this country. Thank you, Supreme Court, you mother trucker, you nasty, evil sons of bees. You're terrible people. You're bought off. You're corrupt. You're naive, or you're scared they're going to murder your children because the left is threatening to murder your families, and you're so afraid you cave on big issues, or you're being paid by the Chinese Communist Party. You're being paid by the deep state, or you're being blackmailed, but you're all dirty. All right, as I say goodnight, Energize Health's the sponsor of the show. They changed my life. I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm in good shape. I'm 65 years old on July 20th. And I look and feel as good as I have in 30 years. There's me 15 years ago in the year, the year 2010. So 16 years ago, I was 50 years old, and now I'm about to be 65. So here's Wayne Allyn in the gym today, about to be 65. They changed my life. Energize Health changed my life. Their program is my fountain of youth. The fat melted off my face. The fat melted off my body. I look younger now than I did at age 50. That's impossible. Nobody does that. And nobody gets 4 new TV shows past the age of 61. Nobody gets a new TV show at the age of 65. Impossible. And yet I did it. And Energize Health works perfectly, synergistically with the GLP-1. So if you're on Ozempic, you're on Mounjaro, you're on any of those. I don't know all the names, but there's lots of them. It minimizes all the terrible side effects of those drugs. It's health loss the healthy way. It's fat loss the healthy way, not weight loss that doesn't work. So if you're on any of those drugs, you need Energize Health to work synergistically with them to eliminate the negative side effects. Right now, Energize Health offering my fans 40% off. Everyone gets 40% off. Just go to EnergizeHealth.com, say war, and you go on the same journey as me, and you get 40% off. And I hope it reverse ages you like it did for me. Hope it's your fountain of youth like it was for me. EnergizeHealth.com, EnergizeHealth.com. Promo code WAR, 40% off. And as I say goodnight here on Warzone Live, I want to mention the phone number, 800-347-ROOT. In the next 1 hour, you call us and you're speaking live with me, Wayne Allyn Root, on America Speaks on Real America's Voice TV network. It's on YouTube now, starting today for the first day ever. Our show is live at 6 o'clock Eastern on YouTube. Then it replays at midnight tonight on Real America's Voice TV. So watch me live or call in live or both at 6 o'clock, 1 hour from now, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, 1-800-347-ROOT. I look forward to talking to you in an hour. Okay, bye-bye. Have a great night. God bless you. God bless Trump. God bless America. Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root, CEO, conservative TV and radio host, and best-selling author. I believe in America and American exceptionalism. America is now focused on energy independence. Enter Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. It took 40 years to piece together this 40,000-acre giant gas discovery. The first 4,000 feet drilled so far are estimated to contain up to 6 trillion cubic feet of gas, making it one of the largest natural gas discoveries in the Rocky Mountain region in the last 30 years. This is how we power the AI future of America with clean natural gas. Headed by oil and gas legend Mark Bruner, whose previous public companies, Pinnacle Energy and Ultra Petroleum, delivered spectacular returns for investors. At its peak, a $10,000 investment in Ultra Petroleum turned into over $13 million. To learn more about this Lost Soldier oil and gas opportunity, go to lostsoldier.com. Fill out the contact form. That's lostsoldier.com. Hey, Wayne Allyn Root, America Speaks. You call in and we talk about it. Your opinions, your comments, your questions. How do you call in? 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-7668. The show airs at midnight, East Coast time, 9 p.m. Pacific, but we tape it at 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So you call in at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I talk to you, and it airs that night at midnight. The phone number again, 800-347-ROOT. That number is 24/7. You can leave voicemails. We play your voicemails on the air as well.
Hey, Wayne, what do you think about Obama?
He was a communist, socialist, Marxist radical.
I agree.
Or you can email me, wayneroot@gmail.com. I'll read your email live on the air with your comments or questions. America Speaks.